Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Abdussalam Danish. I'm in grade 7 and I'm in Halka branch in the Queen. The project I'm doing is called Is the 5-second rule really true? In this project, I will compare foods for 1 second and the next for 6 seconds. Then I will add the samples of each into my petri dishes. Petri dishes are dishes where microorganisms or bacteria can grow in. And when we add the agar mixture to them, they are called agar dishes. The agar is the food of the bacteria or microorganisms so that they can grow and we can see them. Here are the materials. I'm using petri dishes for holding the samples, cotton swabs for taking the samples, and agar nutrient for making the agar mixture. Now let's go to my hypothesis. My hypothesis is that if I drop a piece of food for 1 second and the next for 6 seconds, the one I dropped for 6 seconds will have more bacteria than the one I dropped for 1 second. So now let's go to my kitchen and make the agar mixture. So now we're back in my kitchen. So now let me tell you the steps of how I made the agar mixture. So first what I did was I got water, 330 milliliters of water, and put 10 grams of agar powder in it. Then what I did was I mixed it up and put it in the microwave for 4 minutes. After that was done, I let it cool for 3 minutes. And then the mixture is here. And the reason I'm covering it up is so that no dust or bacteria goes inside of it. So now let me pour it in. Okay, so now I'm pouring it in. And I only have to pour it halfway so there's enough room for me to add the samples of the bacteria. So there you have it. Okay, so here's the final step. I have all my materials there and a 1 second timer. So here are my 2 apples, my 2 cotton buds, and my 2 petri dishes. So what I will do is I will drop one of the apples for 1 second, and once the timer rings, I'm gonna get it, put it here, get the sample, and add it to the petri dish, and then repeat this process when I'm doing it for 6 seconds. So let me grab one of the apples, and 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we have the sample here. Okay, so let me just get a sample of this and add it to the petri dish. Okay, just like that. So now let's do it for 6 seconds. So again, I have my apple and my cotton bud, and let me drop it. So this time for 6 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, got it just in time. Okay, so now let me put it here and get the okay. Let me just add it to the okay, I'm done. Okay, so now it's time for the moment all of you have been waiting for. The final results. So let me first begin with the 1 second sample. So here's the 1 second sample. And as you can see, there's quite a bit of bacteria. But let's see if the 6 second sample is any different. So here it is. And as you can see, it is quite a bit different. And there's much more bacteria and it's much bigger. So this means that my hypothesis was correct. Yes, if you drop food for 6 seconds, it does have more bacteria than the one you drop for 1 second. But this doesn't mean that the one we drop for 1 second has no bacteria at all. It still has bacteria, but just less. In conclusion, the 5-second rule is true, but if you do pick up your food before 5 seconds, it will still have bacteria, but just less of it. Jazakallah for listening, and I hope you learned something from my project.